college chick.
Give it to me, jackass.
Intellectual intercourse, I guess. Wait a minute. That's Owen Hart. That's Owen Hart. I know Sable, and that ain't Sable.
I'm gonna make your life hell. Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express.
And the fact that this grown man wants to dress up in a pair of pantyhose and call himself Chainsaw Charlie, well, I find the idea a little bit ridiculous.
The newest member of the Generation X, Kane.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, The Attitude Era. I'm your host, Brent, and with me, as always, is a man who is from the future and across the ocean. He's the barroom brawling disco dancing dynamite stretching intercontinental playboy. Folks, he's more than getting hit in the head with a coconut. At GRL, not Glenn Abbott. Glenn, how are you?
Well, apart from this old computer that's playing up a bit, not too bad, thanks.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. We both have old computers that like to play up, so.
Yeah.
You don't know this, Glenn, but I do it with two laptops. I do it with the laptop that I record from, and then I have a different laptop that I have all my notes on. You just can't see it.
Well, I've got my phone for all my notes.
Yeah, Glenn does the old pad to paper thing. I can't do it that way. The thing is about me, though, is that I have very bad handwriting, and I've always had very bad handwriting. So literally since I was in about the 7th grade, they had me type everything.
Yes. So you can't even...
Yeah.
You can't even read your own handwriting. So
I can read it most of the time, and most people who've like known me forever, like my buddy Chuck can read my handwriting because he's known me since I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and especially if I start to get like, if I start rushing, and then I don't know, my brain just doesn't work like with that motion. But you know how my brain's like, I don't know, my brain's different than other people's. It doesn't work like that. If I start trying to write stuff a lot, and I start rushing, I'll start not even writing full words. I'll just write fucking letters. And then that'll be like decoding a puzzle.
Yeah.
Which would be fun for nobody. Not even me.
Anyway, on a lighter note.
Yeah.
To go away from handwriting. We were a bit worried the other night because United played Arsenal. And Manchester United, was their first friendly game, but they started off like they'd come second in the league and not us last season.
It definitely did look that way at the beginning of the game.
Luckily, after about 20 minutes, it turned round.
And I think United had more of their, regular players than we did to start the game because we got a lot of young guys out there.
To start the game, definitely. There were two carried off, a lot more substituted. But
yeah. I shudder to think if what's that Danish kid's name that plays for United that scored the first goal that got hurt. He almost scored another one.
Oh yeah, Jørgensen or something, isn't he?
Yeah, something like that. I know he plays for Denmark.
Yeah.
But I shudder to think if
I'm
he
sure
might
Dan will
not.
tell us.
Yeah, Dan will let us know. Thank you, Dan. When we'll find out where what his real name is. But I think he might have scored another goal or maybe even two if they'd have left him out there because they really he wasn't out there for very long and he was giving them fits for the minute the game started. So
yeah, well, we had a very inexperienced backline.
Yeah, you had Ben White, Timber, and Timber just came back. So
yeah,
and then a couple of academy guys, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then we had like a 16-year-old kid playing in the midfield.
Yeah.
Which he has flashes of greatness, but then he has flashes of like there was one where he scurried through 2 United guys, but then he passed the ball right into 3 United players. Like there was no Arsenal guys over there. It's like the one thing was impressive, but then he showed his age by kicking the ball to absolutely no one after that.
Yeah, well, the more he plays with Ødegaard, the more he'll learn.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but when Martinelli came on in the second half, he was
he turned those lads in the United defense, they didn't know what hit them.
Yeah, he's got a different kind of pace, Martinelli.
They were like Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner.
It really did look like that. They were like the deer in the headlights. Yeah. Which he scored one, but he could have scored a couple more.
Yeah,
And it's good to see him like getting on the front foot, and Gabriel Jesus getting up on the front foot too, because they both had injury plagued seasons last year.
that's
And if
right.
they can both come back and have like something to prove this year, oh boy, because we were really good last year and they really didn't play. So
That's it.
yeah,
Anyway, shall we talk some wrestling now?
we might as well, Glenn. We might as well talk about some wrestling, huh? It's a big wrestling
If you
weekend.
could call.
Considering
Oh,
it's
yeah.
SummerSlam weekend this weekend for current wrestling. This will already be
I'll
out
take
by then, but you can check out our SummerSlam preview show. It's out now on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. You can check it
I was
out.
going to say, are we drawing back the curtain and telling everybody that we're recording this a few hours before we're going to be recording the SummerSlam?
Well, we're not recording it; it's live, so it's going to be live. But you can't watch it live because this comes out on Thursday, and that's going to be tonight, which is Tuesday.
Yep. So, okay.
I started trying to do this smart thing where I give myself a day to edit the show before I put it out. I try to do that. That way I'm not rushing. But
Yeah, that's true.
it doesn't always work out. But yeah, so let's talk about the Raw is War from January the 12th, 1998. It was from the Bryce Jordan Center in State College, Pennsylvania. This arena opened in 1995. The largest arena between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, apparently. In 1998, parts of the Aerosmith live album. Glenn, you familiar with Aerosmith?
Yes.
Their live album, A Little Bit South of Sanity, was recorded at this arena. I guess lead singer Steven Tyler can be heard yelling "State College" at the audience during the "Love in an Elevator" song. You know that song, Glenn?
I do, yeah.
I'm sure you do. Was that your type of music, or is that not really your type of music?
Not really, no. But yeah, I am aware of them.
Right. Like, yeah, me too. Like, I don't, besides maybe the song with Run DMC, Walk This Way, I'm not really a big Aerosmith guy. I'm aware of the songs. Yes.
That was basically the only one that I played of theirs.
Yes. Glenn used to be a hip hop DJ, if people don't know. So, also, more music history. In 2000, the music video the Backstreet Boys made for their song "The One" was also filmed at this arena.
Wow.
And if you find yourself in State College, which is, it's basically, the town is basically a college town because it's near the University of Penn State, which I get because if you don't know, I live in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is a college town. You can, at this arena, you can go see Lil Yachty on September the 6th. Glenn, are you familiar with Lil Yachty?
I am not.
Good, because it's terrible. Lil Yachty, not Little Yachty, Lil Yachty. Or you could just wait until October 1st and go and have a look at Jelly Roll. I'm not really big into Jelly Roll's music, but he seems like a good dude. So
I've seen
Jelly Roll.
Yeah, I've seen him at the wrestling. But...
Yes, he has been. Yep, he has been on the wrestling. Yep, if you don't know, he is. Big guy with tattoos all over his face. Used to be a rapper. But now he's a country western singer.
Yes, so I gathered.
Yeah. But he seems like a really good guy. So go see his concert if you're into that sort of thing. Don't go see Lil Yachty because I don't know why you would be. Yeah, you know what rap music sounds like nowadays, Glenn? Just a bunch of nonsense.
Oh, it's absolutely terrible.
Yes, that's Lil Yachty.
The great rappers of the past. Sorry, going off subject.
No, let's do it, Glenn. I want to hear it.
This is my subject. The great rappers of the past and hip hop artists used to sample great music from the 60s and 70s. This lot now try to make a sound to the samples of the great hip hop artists of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And it is just a sound. There's no, it's no coincidence that Eminem came back with probably his best album in years.
Yeah.
Because it just a total different level to anything that's coming out now.
Lyrically, yes, absolutely. That's the thing with rap nowadays. I mean, there are some that are good lyrical rappers nowadays, like J. Cole. And he's not personally my cup of tea, but a lot of people like Kendrick Lamar, and he is a good rapper, but his music's just not really for me. I hope he doesn't make a diss track against me now, but I'm just saying I'm not really into Kendrick Lamar. But as far as lyrics nowadays, people there's no good lyrics. There's no good lyricists anymore. There's only a couple.
And people want good lyrics. That's why Joe Hendry ended up top of the charts.
because it's catchy.
It's catchy.
Absolutely. I want to be able to let me hear you enunciate your words. That's what I don't want to hear. This mumble mouth bullshit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, we're gonna stop being two old men.
Yeah.
Soapboxes. We are 6 days away from the Royal Rumble, 11 weeks away from WrestleMania. I'm going to do my signs of the week right now because I only saw one really good sign, and it was WWF fears the Penn State wrestling team, which I thought was funny. It's the only.
I don't think actually anybody from the Penn State wrestling team actually has made it to WWF, or have they?
I mean, if they had, JR would have told us about it. So.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
He would. I'm surprised he didn't. If they would have been some, he would have listed them all. I believe. So Lex Luger also went to Miami, but he started his career at Penn State.
Oh, right. Okay.
If I remember correctly. So what do you want to do, Glenn? You want to talk about something good first? You got something bad first, or you got something downright ugly you want to talk about first?
Well, it kicks off bad, so I'm going to talk about bad first.
Okay.
DX, right at the top of the show. Some of the crappiest stuff they've ever done so far. If you're gonna watch this episode of Raw, skip the DX intro.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mean the very beginning in the
very beginning, yeah. Yeah, where they're going on about that Sean has a message for Undertaker's family and Owen's not to mess with their business, and it was just a mishmash and not very good.
Yeah, and they were talking about college girls and
oh god, oh yeah, that was the other thing.
Yeah, I don't think any college girls are approaching them because they think China's going to rip their fucking heads off.
That's right. And not the only time this show that paedophilia comes into it.
Yeah, I mean they show a lot of this whole limo thing. The only cool thing that I got from the limo thing is when him and China are going to get whoever to move this WWE truck out of the way. And Owen comes flying out of nowhere, jumps like on top and right down into he did it like he'd done it 100 times.
Oh no.
Right down into the sunroof. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. But there was no point to that first bit. Only to set up that second bit, which comes after the first match, if you can call it that.
Yeah, it was a bit to set up a bit to set up a bit because
set
up the bit with the limo, to set up the bit with Owen, to set up the bit with Owen not coming back because. Okay, so we'll just talk about it all now since we're talking about it. Owen jumps in there, starts beating on Triple H. China and Shawn Michaels see that. They get in the limo, and the limo leaves, right? The limo's gone.
Yep.
They've take Owen to we don't fucking know where, right? Owen Hart, presumably in a field somewhere. He's had a heart attack like Ric Flair in WCW in 1999. If you don't know that storyline, look it up. But then Owen makes his way back to the arena when DX is in the ring, and the only thing that looks like him is that maybe a rabid cat has gotten to his face. That's the only thing that looks wrong with him.
That's right. And he's walked miles.
Yeah, apparently. Or hitchhiked. Who would pick him up?
Exactly.
He was picked up by a rabid cat, apparently, and attacked him. I don't know. So, like, if they had beaten him up badly, you should have made it look worse or something.
Oh, yeah.
The little weird blood scratches was stupid. It just made it all seem silly.
That's right. And then later on he comes out with a little Band-Aid plaster.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, man? Somehow in the time that he fucking came back from wherever they left him, he's got attacked by a cat and managed to bandage it up too and make it back to the arena within an hour.
Yes.
So either they're really bad at beating somebody up and dumping them out, or he's just really fucking resourceful.
I think it's a bit of both.
Except the cat. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? I didn't have that on like my good, bad, or ugly. It was just kind of like blah for me. The whole entire DX thing
Yeah.
was just kind of there. It was on the show. I mean, the one Shawn Michaels thing was on my good. The ending of the show, which we won't talk about that right now. We'll talk about
No,
that.
we'll talk about that once we get to the good bits.
Yeah. So one of the first bad bit that I have is, and I'm sure you will agree with me on this one. It is Mark Marrow versus Vader, and Glenn. Usually, when Mark Marrow comes out in 1998 Raw, what was the best thing about that? What was the best thing about him coming out?
Well, it certainly wasn't gold dust in stockings.
No, it's usually Sable,
It's normally Sable.
and she's not with him, and they say he's had a change of heart, and then he starts talking, and his mic won't work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was planned or I don't think it was, but his mic wasn't working to start. So then they say they're going to bring out Sable, and it's not Sable. He's, like you said, Gold Dust dressed in stockings and a thong. Clearly got this at Victoria's Secret, but we would wish that Victoria had kept this a secret,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Dear, it was. Yes, it was bad. It was it's like every time that Goldust comes on WWF TV at this time, it can go into two categories. It could go into bad and ugly.
Yeah, it can bleed into both, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why this just didn't get just a downright ugly for me is because like Vader got a massive pop from the crowd when he first came out, and then Sable did come out and like have words with the fake Sable, and she kicked Goldust in the ribs.
Yeah.
So that was like, I thought that was an interesting spot. Vader does end up, he hits a Vader bomb, but then Goldust gets in the ring, and he breaks a fucking coconut over his head.
I know. That he pulled out of his bra.
Well, yeah, of course. What else he got in there? So I just want to review this, Glenn. In the feud between Vader and Goldust, this is all the things that Goldust has done to Vader.
Yeah.
Goldust hit him in the head with a hammer.
Yep.
Sprayed him in the eyes with like hair remover. And
Yep.
then he got a hot coffee thrown in the other eye.
Yeah.
And now he's been hit in the head with a coconut.
Vader. That's not the worst thing that happens to Vader tonight either.
No, it wasn't.
But we'll get into that in a bit when we get to the goods.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it was something. It was absolutely something.
Another bad thing.
Yeah.
Is this bloody 4-way tag match.
A mess.
It was a mess. Why they had it, I don't know. Why the champions are taking part in a non-title 4-team tag match, God only knows.
I thought it would have been hilarious if they had somehow tagged them both in at the same time and they pinned each other and just got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that would have been.
Which I'm pretty sure they do pull that at some point, but I thought this would have been a good point for it.
Yeah, it would have been.
The only good, I did have this as my first good thing because I thought it was funny being that they're at Penn State College and they come out with wearing Florida Gator t-shirts. And so I looked it up, checked Penn State's season that year, and their season ended with a loss in the Citrus Bowl 21-6 to the Florida Gators. And as I mentioned before, I live in a college football town, Lincoln, Nebraska. So anytime anything comes here, the heel wrestlers are going to trash Nebraska football. And so I like to see some good football hazing. And so that of this I thought was really good. Yeah.
It's great heel tactics.
Absolutely.
Attack the local team, no matter who it is. Ricky Knight, Paige's brother, he did a show in Ipswich and turned up in a Norwich shirt. Got booed out the building. Perfect.
Yeah, that's some good old fashioned. That's good old classic heel stuff for me. So I enjoyed them coming out in the Gator t-shirts. I don't feel the same hatred toward the Florida Gators because Nebraska played the Florida Gators in the 1996 Fiesta Bowl and we beat them 62-10. So
Yeah. To be fair to the crowd, the Penn State crowd, they really got after the Outlaws.
yeah, they were going crazy.
They were chanting, "We are Penn State."
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So no, the crowd was really, really great during that. I thought the crowd was good the whole show. Most of these shows, all the crowds are great. You don't ever get like nowadays you'll get shows where the crowds are sitting on their hands. You didn't get that in the 90s. Everybody was fucking going crazy.
if anybody dared sit on their hands, they'd send Steve Austin out.
Yeah, that was good. Or just put him up on the Titantron, just his picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, no, that wasn't very good. I didn't like the 400 updates on if we would get Mike Tyson at the Royal Rumble or not, which we find out that we will get him at the Royal Rumble. And then Shawn Michaels kind of challenged him if he gets into my business, which I didn't understand. Like, why would Mike Tyson get into Shawn Michaels' business? I just guess it's stupid. I guess a good way to promote the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, though. Because with hindsight, we know it doesn't go anywhere. All this hype.
Well, it goes a little somewhere, but not like he's not having a match.
No.
He's not gonna. Because I was 14 at this time, and I remember all the talk in 7th grade. Then was, is he gonna actually wrestle Steve Austin? Nobody gave. We're gonna talk about WrestleMania 14, obviously, but nobody gave a fuck about Shawn Michaels. It was all about Steve Austin, Mike Tyson. That's all anybody cared about.
Well, that's where the hype's up.
You're right. So maybe I shouldn't put that on the bad.
Sorry.
Maybe I shouldn't put that in the bad then.
No, because that's what all the hype's about. Even on the commentary, most of the time they're talking about Austin or Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
They hardly mention DX,
except for when they're out there.
When they can't help it.
Yeah. You got anything that was ugly from this show? It was hard to find something ugly from the show, but I did find a couple of things.
Nothing ugly. Something extremely funny is, Austin got told off for bringing his truck to the ringside.
Yeah.
They made him drive it down the side and blocked it all off that he couldn't get his truck in far enough. Yeah. I thought that was hilarious that he had to walk.
They couldn't. Well, it would be harder to drive it down to the ring with that ramp.
Yeah, but even if they cleared that side, you could have driven it round the side of the ramp.
Oh yeah,
but they barricaded it all up so he couldn't get through.
They put all kinds of curtains and shit. They did. So the one ugly thing I have is they had Taka Michinoku and Scott Taylor versus the Los Boricuas. And I was a little bit uncomfortable with Sunny out there in the Penn State cheerleading outfit, and they were like trying to pull up her skirt. I think
that was a bit how the show went in the second half.
Yeah, so that was ugly. And then my other ugly thing was we get more of this NWA National Wrestling Alliance crap. With Jim Cornette, but he does bring out the Rock and Roll Express.
And I'm thinking, oh, good, I've got something good to talk about. Nah.
They bring him out here to face Skull and 8-Ball from DOA.
Of course you would.
And I literally wrote, now normally seeing Ricky and Robert wouldn't be a bad thing, but since it's 1998 and the NWA, I had to add this to the ugly section.
Yeah. Again, it's not one of those that's a grey area between ugly and bad.
Yeah.
The whole thing with them cheating with the tennis racket and everything. It doesn't work for them.
Right.
Even in 1998, they're the biggest babyface tag team in the business.
Right. I mean, they already tried to make Ricky Morton heel in WCW, which that didn't work.
Yeah, no, that didn't work.
They're the ultimate baby faces. You can't make them heel.
No.
It's not going to work. And they're facing two big bald bikers. Why would I root for the Rock and Roll Express?
Exactly.
They came out to the Rockers theme music, which I don't know if that was like edited in later, but I thought that was a nice touch. They came out
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like Cornette got in there, and then he got caught using the tennis racket, so they didn't even win the match. They lost by DQ, and then after that, they start beating them up until Chains comes in to make the rescue, which I didn't even know Chains was still around, but apparently,
No, I didn't.
apparently Chains is still a thing.
Yeah, until they mentioned the old commentary, I was thinking, who's the geezer with the hair?
yeah, no. Okay, so I got one more bad thing. You got any more bad things before we can start turning this episode around?
No, go on. You get off the last bad thing off your chest.
So this was like toward the end of the show where they tell us all night they're going to do this Royal Rumble drawing. We're going to find out the numbers.
Oh, God, yeah.
Which I'm glad that they didn't end up going through with that, because I hate when they tell me who's going to be where. Or I don't want to know who's going to be number 1. I don't want to know who's going to be number 30. I don't fucking want to know anything. Just shut up and surprise me. I hate it when they tell me the numbers.
That is the best. That is the thing about the Royal Rumble, is the surprises.
Yep. I don't even want a list of who's going to be in it. I know people are always like, I want to see who's going to be in it. I don't. Don't even tell me a person. I don't want to know a soul that's going to be in it.
No. As long as we know the numbers, and we've got a couple of jobbers to even it all up, then we're fine.
Exactly. I don't care about any of that. But so they get everybody out there, and then they strut out the motherfucking honky tonk man. And I was like, God damn it, I thought we were done with this. And I really hope he's not in the 1998 one.
Oh, no, it was so weird that there's this big melee going on in the ring, and he just walks in there.
At first, I thought it was Rockabilly.
Doesn't even do anything.
I mean, he's honky tonk man. What the fuck's he gonna do at this point?
Yeah, I know.
I was just like, huh? Why the fucking honky tonk man? I did not get it. Didn't get it, Glenn. That was my last bad one. But now, Glenn, let's get around. Let's talk about the good things that happened in the show this evening.
I'm going to surprise you here. Kurgan.
Okay, well, that doesn't surprise me.
Against two superb work in progress jobbers. You couldn't have got more jobbery jobbers if you'd tried.
Jimmy Cicero and Lance Diamond. Oh, Jimmy Cicero is what his name.
Yeah, Cicero.
Hey, Jimmy fucking Cicero here. You come on down to 10th Street and I'll give you the best fucking pizza you ever had in your fucking life.
This is all Kurgan should be doing. Is destroying jobbers like this.
Yeah. I don't know why he hadn't been doing it sooner.
Yeah. You know, that was good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I saw two jobbers, I thought this was definitely going to make it on one of our good lists. Apparently, Jimmy Cicero was trained by Ivan Koloff, apparently.
Oh, wow. And
his finishing move was the wisecrack. Hey, sorry.
And apparently, Diamond was a rising star in the ECWA before it became just ECW.
Really? He was one of the ECWA originals.
Yeah.
What's ECWA stand for?
Oh, what did they? It wasn't Extreme at that time, was it? It was something else.
Eastern Championship Wrestling?
Eastern Championship Wrestling Association or something.
Yeah, that's what it was at first. Yeah. And Lance Diamond, I think, wrestled in ECW too as what's his fucking name? See, I took the goddamn results down. Hold on. Everyone talk amongst yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It was something Diamond. I can't think of what it was. Obviously. Lance Diamond. Let me see here. Pat Kennedy was his actual name. Hey, me and him share the same birthday, but not the same birth year because he is much older than I am. He was born in 19.
No, I'm not surprised.
He wrestled as Lance Diamond. Simon Diamond is what I think he wrestled
Simon
as.
Diamond. That's it.
He also wrestled as Russian Invader number 2, the Empire Saint, Japanese Assassin, and New York City Rocker. Nothing about this man is Japanese.
No, definitely not.
He's no.
Yeah. Yokozuna is more Japanese than he is.
Maybe he likes Japanese food. That's the best I can do for you.
He enjoys a good bit of sushi.
He does. He loves sushi roll. I mean sushi roll. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't eat sushi, so I don't fucking know, okay? But yeah, sorry. I always want to know the background of jobbers. You know how it goes.
Yeah. And then Kurgan, to end it, gets hold of a very unsolid looking football helmet and breaks it in half.
Oh yeah, he tore apart a Penn State football helmet. Yeah.
Yep.
Just to anger the fans.
Just to anger the fans even more.
Yeah, it's a good way to rile up college kids. They've been drinking beer all day. They rip their helmet apart. That's pretty good. Yeah, good stuff. More football hazing, which I enjoy. So we talked. One of my good was just anything that Stone Cold Steve Austin did on the show.
Oh,
Shows
God,
driving the truck.
Yeah.
He beats up the Godwins in the locker room. He comes out to do an interview. He asks Michael Cole for a marker. He draws a target on his chest.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was great.
And then they go backstage, and there's Vader laying in a trash can, and they blame that on Austin too.
I think it was fucking Goldust. Goddamn it, he's the real.
I would have thought it was Goldust. I don't think it was Austin, but Austin got the blame.
It's a bad time to be Vader, man. Coffee in his eyes, hair remover, fucking get beat up in the back. He got hit in the head with a fucking coconut. Shit.
I'll tell you somebody who's not a bad time to be. That's Mark Henry.
Oh yeah, this was on my good too. I like this too.
Yeah. I didn't realize that this was the episode that he turned heel and joined the Nation of Domination by turning on Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, I knew that it happened, but I honestly didn't think that it had happened this soon. But
No, I didn't.
It's a great way to get Mark going. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't really got a foot in at all, and this is where he's not going to have to do a whole lot. He can stay in the background, look menacing, get in there, and fucking throw his weight around, which is exactly what he should be doing right now. So I think this is a really good move, definitely.
And they did it perfectly too.
Yeah,
because there was not even a hint of dissension between them, and all of a sudden it just whacks him from behind.
Yeah, they even showed like a video of like the Nation was beating down Mark Henry in the ring. I think it was like a Shotgun Saturday Night.
Yeah.
And Ken Shamrock came out there and saved him, and then Mark Henry comes out there and he's got a Rocky sucks shirt on. Did you notice that they couldn't get a shirt that fit Mark, so they had to kind of cut it down the middle so he could get it on?
Yeah, and then but then that made it easier for it to rip it off as well.
You know what, Glenn? I didn't think of that. Oh, you're right. That makes more sense than what I said. You know what, Glenn? You're making a lot of sense, pal.
Sorry. These shows aren't meant to be about sense.
Sometimes things lap my mind. It's fine. It happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought that was really, really good. Also, one thing we forgot about with Austin is we get Mankind goes up against Dude Love. Nope, nope. That's exactly. It's Mankind versus Dude Love. No.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is because it's bloody Goldust again.
Yes, it was.
Oh.
It was Goldust dressed as Dude Love. And then the match doesn't go on for long. And I'm like, please let this shit show end. And then I see the crowd starting to get excited because here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin to answer my prayers and stun the both of them.
And I tell you what, that the way that Goldust,
dude dust
took that stunner. It was amazing. He bounced off the canvas and disappeared over the top of the middle rope outside. He bounced that high when he took that stunner. It was great.
That was really good, yeah. And I think, didn't his wig thing pop off too?
It did, yeah. Yes, it did.
When he took those stunners in the ring a couple of weeks ago, when he had the porta potty in there and Goldust was in the fucking diaper and he stunned him, he took those pretty fucking good too. He was like bumping into so that was great. But yeah, so they get Mark Henry looks like everything's fine. He didn't even get in the match at all until Ken Shamrock looked like he was about to put The Rock in an ankle lock, and then Mark Henry just laid him out with a clothesline. And they beat him up afterwards, and then The Rock even said, "You ugly piece of trash, I'm going to tear that shirt off of you." And then he does tear the shirt off, and he's got a Nation of Domination shirt on. So and another piece to this is when they get up on the ramp and they meet Farouk, who wasn't out here for this, and he did not look happy.
What's going on? You're about to be sacked, mate. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I know Farouk makes it until like WrestleMania, but I know it's not long for the world, and then it won the acolytes with
thank God,
Bradshaw, I think. So yeah, Mark Henry, the newest member of the Nation of Domination, and the dissension goes further within the nation because Farouk does not look happy with that.
And The Rock becomes even more rockish.
Yeah, they did that promo too, where he's like, "I did it all for you. It's all for you. Come on, man."
Yeah. Right, can we go back to some ugly for a minute?
No, let's do it.
It's an award for the sleaziest paedophile of the night. And there's 2 nominations.
Oh boy.
There's Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh God. Yes, I remember now.
Even JR had to stop him. The comment about the other time I go there was if I pick, what was it, dropping him off at school or something.
Yeah, he said something along the lines of something. I don't do something.
I couldn't even remember. I didn't even make a note of it because I was that disgusted.
He said something along the lines of, "I don't do that for my girls unless I'm dropping them off at school."
That was the one.
And I went, "Oh no, sir."
He went there.
Sir, he said the quiet thing out loud.
Yeah. And there's Triple H going on
he
about...
acted like he lived in 2024, Jerry Lawler, back then. Jesus Christmas.
And then there's Triple H going on about giving sorority girls his head.
Yeah, if you've got the head, I've got the head if you've got the glass. Yeah. No, I've got the head if you've got the class. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I felt weird for poor China to stand in the ring and listen to that.
Yeah, just has to listen to that all that crap.
Yeah, it felt weird. I don't know. But yeah, the Jerry Lawler thing made me go, "Oh no, sir."
Yeah, that's it.
You don't say that. No one should say that, but you of all people don't say that.
Now, if we were back in 1997, going back to the good now.
Yeah.
You would be playing a promo now, which was the Cactus Jack one.
Oh, where he's barefoot on the football field?
Yes.
Yes.
That was brilliant. That was A1 class Mick Foley.
Definitely.
And explaining how he's got together with Terry Funk, and it doesn't matter if he's going to stick pantyhose on his head and call himself Chainsaw Charlie. We're mates and we're gonna get it done.
Oh yeah, we said. For me, that sounds a bit strange. Okay, dude who has 3 personalities.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you got any room to talk here, pal.
Yeah, and we're gonna see all 3 of them in the next show.
Yes. And I like sometimes things in wrestling just need to be explained, because if they had somebody come on TV now who some sort of Chainsaw Charlie and say it was fucking, I don't know, Dolph Ziggler. Say if Dolph Ziggler came back with pantyhose on his head, they'd be like, well, why is he that? I need to know. And it's good that you can explain it, because why I want to know why Terry Funk has fucking, pantyhose on.
Pantyhose on his head. That's what's so good about Raw last night, when the White Six all unmasked.
Oh, I gotta see that. I haven't watched it yet.
Because it takes away so many questions about how they're going to wrestle. Are they going to wrestle in their masks or whatever? But they didn't. But we'll talk about that on the other show.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. It wasn't on Hulu this morning, so I couldn't watch it when I first got up. But I'm gonna try to watch it.
Well, check it out on YouTube. There's plenty of versions of it on there.
I'll definitely give it a look. See, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. If you haven't yet, go check out our SummerSlam show. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna watch some wrestling matches too, Glenn. We're gonna watch Dusty Rhodes versus the Honky Tonk Man and Mr. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
That's right. I'll be there for that. I only got one more thing left, Glenn. You got what other stuff you got? I'm sure the last thing of the show is probably on both of our lists.
Yes, it is. Go for it. God, you go first.
All right, so we get down to the very end of the show, and they've been teasing this all night long about, Shawn Michaels got a big announcement about the Undertaker's family. He kind of alluded to it earlier when they were out there before they were interrupted by the person who had been attacked by a vicious cat, Owen Hart, that he wanted to talk about Kane because, Paul Bearer has somehow lost the gigantic Kane. So Shawn Michaels invites Kane into the family of DX, and then announces that Kane is the newest member of DX, calling him out to the ring, but he got the Undertaker instead.
Yeah, the lights go out, so you're not sure because the lights go out for both of their entrances.
Right, and they gave it a pause for a second, so you'd
and then you got the dong instead of the flash.
Right.
So yeah, it's the Undertaker. Brilliant.
Good stuff, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he comes out and says, leave my family out of this. This has nothing to do with my little brother. We'd just be more worried about at the Royal Rumble me punching a 6-inch hole in your forehead. He grabs Shawn Michaels, starts choking him, but then China goes at him from behind. He goes to chokeslam China, but Triple H hits him with the crutch, and then Shawn Michaels super kicks him. And then they're beating him up in the ring. Lights go out again. This time it is Kane.
Yeah, it is the Bane.
And they're, doing the whole, is he going to help him or is he going to destroy the Undertaker with, is he, blah, 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 blah. But he gets in there and he kind of goes after Shawn Michaels. He doesn't really get a whole lot of licks in on anybody on DX because they all bail out as quick as they can.
As you would.
As I would do, yeah.
I've always wondered that when any of the monsters come anywhere near the ring, why the heels that they're after don't just bow straight away.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck that. Yeah, so Kane comes down there and I think he just grabbed Shawn Michaels by his hair. I think is all I did.
He did, yeah, he had him by the hair, but Shawn Michaels gets away.
Yeah.
And they run up the ramp and disappear.
My favorite is the Triple H trying to run, but he clearly can't.
Yeah, he's hopping.
He's hopping up the ring. As Kane stalking them from behind, which was my favorite part. It was like a horror movie.
Is that one of those old mummy films?
Yeah.
Where the girl's running through the forest and the mummy's just lurking.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. The slow and prodding chasing the crippled. Is what
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Yeah, and then of course the iconic moment when Kane gets to the top of the ramp, he turns round, looks at the Undertaker, takes a knee and extends a hand, and the Undertaker looks and then takes the knee and extends the hand. And basically, we've got the beginnings of the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah, I mean, pretty damn cool moment. I mean, some sort of, I don't know, bond with friendship. I don't know what it was, or loving embrace between two brothers. I don't know, but it was an epic moment because he got like a big pop from the crowd, and like as they did it, they had like the boom come up from the. It was just really cool.
It was
really cool moment in wrestling. It's an iconic moment. I think everyone is. If you're a wrestling fan from our era that's watched in that era, you remember this because it was an iconic moment for sure.
Yeah, I didn't remember considering this was the go home Raw to the Royal Rumble. I didn't remember much about this, but that bit certainly seen umpteen times since.
So there was like a running theme when we did the 1997 show, which is Warning to Attitude, which you can check out all the episodes on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts right now. We used to get really bad shows going into pay-per-views, but I wouldn't say this one was bad. I would say this was pretty good.
No, because they did some storytelling. They built up some things. They let us know what was going to be happening on the Sunday.
What do you think what match do you think had the longest amount of time on this whole entire show?
Oh, that's got to be the I've closed it all down now.
No, I want you to guess. No, I mean probably
it'll be Kurgan.
No, it wasn't. Kurgan only went 2 minutes and 28 seconds. The longest match of the night was the Los Boricuas, Savio and Jesus taking on Taka Michinoku and Scott Taylor, which was 4 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad for as long as it lasted.
That was the main event match. It was the last match on the show. To put that in context. Sometimes good TV wrestling, just as a good wrestling show, doesn't always equal great matches. That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so a pretty interesting show. I'm interested to see. Next week we'll be reviewing the 1998 Royal Rumble. We'll talk about all the matches. We'll talk about the whole show, and then I think after every match we'll rate it. We'll rate it be good, bad, or ugly.
Ugly, yes.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah. We're spoiled. We're spoiled.
Good.
Where we are now, as far as getting good stories with good matches.
Man, we suffered through January, February, March, and April of 1997 to get here, Glenn. I think we've earned it.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm saying no. I'm not talking about now as in 1998. I'm talking about now as now.
Oh, current day. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We put up with so much shit over the years.
Boy, did we.
It was 1997 into 1998, sort of encompassed on a long scale.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. So let's look at the TV ratings. This week, WCW jumped up. They went from a 4.35 to a 4.58. And WWE went up this week too, though. Last week they did a 3.34, and this week they did 3.45. So they do continue to keep going up. And do you want to hear some of the matches that we missed since we watched Raw instead of Nitro? Yeah. Bill Goldberg, I'm sure, demolished Jerry Flynn. Marty Jannetty defeated. Oh, I'm sure that's Ernest Miller. It says Black Cat, but it's got to be Ernest Miller, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a goddamn Japanese guy.
Oh, right.
Interesting. Why Marty Jannetty? It's 1998. Chris Benoit defeated Dean Malenko. I'm sure that was a hell of a wrestling match. Booker T defended his world television title successfully against Saturn. Lex Luger defeated Hugh Morris, which I'm sure that match was hilarious. And the main event of the evening was a WCW World Tag Team title match. It was the Outsiders, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, defeating the Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott, which the Steiner Brothers got to be coming up on their breakup here pretty soon in 1998. So
yeah,
it's got to be getting down to it right there.
Was that by a DQ or something?
No, it says they won by pinfall.
Yeah, so the Steiners breakup must be imminent then if they're not protecting them.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I'm pretty sure it's Super Brawl in 98 is when Scott, when he turns on his brother and joins the NWO. I'm
along with
pretty
a million others, a cast of thousands.
Yeah, by that time, even him joining the NWO was like, oh, really? Huh. Another guy. But anyway, that is it. That's all we've got for this week. Glenn, who do we need to plug before we hang the headphones up until later?
I'm booking the territory with Dan and Rob doing the first and last of wrestling, and they have their little side projects out and stacking the datatory, the road to Wembley 1981 with Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, which was watched by 80 million people, the biggest ever wrestling audience. They have the I'm booking the Tankatory, the Life and Times of Tank Abbott, which we basically nicked I don't know shit from.
Yes, we did.
And the Being the Elite Gator Golf. They just finished up series 2, where they put the Gator Golf clubs away, and there's all sorts of shenanigans going on in the clubhouse.
I'm thinking about nicking that gimmick too, and starting the WWF Karate Fighters Tournament Marathon, and finding every Karate Fighters tournament I can find and watching them all.
And of course,
the Doctor Who podcast with Danny Inside. That's on SJP World Media. Follow SJP World Media if you like soccer like we do. That way you can check out the volley, which Dan does with Matt Lewis, I believe is his name. They are always delightful to kind of get some alternate commentary on some Premier League matches or any kind of soccer. So make sure you check SJP World Media out.
And sometimes I pop up on there as well.
And you never fucking know when Glenn might show up and cheer on the Gooners.
DC and Doc, the boys are back in town. DDT Wrestling is back, and their episodes are dropping now every Friday again, I believe, as long as Doc remembers to download them.
Upload them. Same
thing.
Upload
them. Same thing.
Up, down, doesn't matter.
Up, down, it doesn't matter.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, country code. Anyway, yeah, check out all the stuff we got going on. The SummerSlam thing that we've talked about a bunch of times. Make sure you check out Sports Wire Radio. Give our buddy Thomas Bryce a follow on all social media. That is Thomas B. Rice. Subscribe to Sports Wire Radio on YouTube. That's Sports with a Z. And check out that website at sportswireradio.org. Were you going to say something?
Things are getting a bit meaty on that Sports Wire Radio at the moment.
It is getting heated, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Definitely is.
He's getting involved in fights and all sorts.
Well, you want to mess with Thomas B. Rice. Play.
I loved it. He received a mysterious package the other day. And I messaged him and said, the way you were pummeling and feeling that is lucky that it wasn't a bomb. As it turned out, it was just a T-shirt that one of his guests had sent him. But he's getting suspicious of everything because he's got more enemies than we have.
I don't have any enemies. What are you talking about?
I know. So if he's got one, he's got more than we have.
I might have some enemies, but fuck, I'm going. They wouldn't say it to my face. But anyway, what was I talking about? You've lost me.
I don't know shit.
Oh, check out the Life and Times of Psycho. I don't know shit. The Life and Times of Psycho Sid. He is on his way to facing Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series 1996 for the WWF Championship. So we're excited about that. This week, I believe he's going to have a tag team match with Shawn Michaels taking on
player,
the British Bulldog and Owen Hart. And I'm sure that's going to end swimmingly for them, considering they have a match coming up against each other soon for Sid and Shawn Michaels. And then we're going to watch them have a debate off in the ring behind these weird WWE podiums. That would be fun. So that's fun. Check that out. That's it. That is all. I don't have anything else to say. Glenn, all you have to do now is say goodbye.
Goodbye.